Hello and welcome to hankgames. My name is John Green. As you can see there, Swindon Town is in 5th, and even if we lose this game, we will not be worse than 6th, which means we are going to the playoffs. And it doesn't actually matter if we finish 5th or 6th, which is why I am starting the worst possible Swindon 11. On paper, we couldn't be worse. Except I did start Green Eggs and Photo again. That was a mistake. He'll probably get a red card and be out for the playoffs. Anyway. We are starting the likes of Mr. Bean, Awesome Dawson, One Size Fits All, and then up front we have Andy Rooney and James Collins, because we actually don't have any bad strikers on our team. Andy Rooney and James Collins are both pretty good, but we've got a lot of guys. There's Mr. Bean. He's been complaining for months about how I don't play him, but I don't play him because he's bad. Technically, I should probably never have paid $1 million for him, but his name is Mr. Bean. Oh, I know, we want results. What is it that they sing? We want points, not gingers? Yes, I know you also probably want points, not clever names. But whatever. Mr. Bean! Mr. Bean! No. Not very good. That's why I haven't been playing you, Mr. Complainy Pants. So it's the last day of the Swindon season, except for the playoffs. It's a time to look back, consider where we've come, and sometimes more importantly, where we haven't. We've not achieved what we wished for this year. This was the first year when the supporters of the team really revolted against management. This has always been a moment, it's been interesting because we've always been on the same page, you and I. You always liked me and I always liked you, and we were always in this together, and sometimes I would play well and sometimes I would play poorly, and sometimes the boys would live up to expectations and sometimes they wouldn't, but never was I hearing we want points, not gingers. Never was I hearing Green out, Bald John Green in, which I've been hearing, that Bald John Green should become the player manager and that I should get out. That stuff, it's been difficult, I'm not going to lie. I'm sure it's been difficult for you to have to deal with a manager that you don't like as much as you used to. But I will remind you, I am, I was about to say the greatest manager in Swindon history while scoring a goal. But as always, the narrative failed to live up to expectations. Together we have accomplished remarkable things. Now, I may get fired from my job. I may not have a good way forward. I don't know what the future looks like. All I know is that, when we look back at this year, we will see it as the year when, it for lack of a better phrase, got real. It stopped being about like, oh, every season we're going to have so much joy and win so many trophies. The only trophy we won, the audio sync was off, so we weren't even able to enjoy it properly. It's not Meredith's fault. It was technically Meredith's fault, but we're not mad at her. It was not the season that we all dreamt of. It was not the glorious season of 5 trophies and Bald John Green getting tired from having to lift so much hardware. Context is everything. It wasn't what it might have been. But I can't regret it, because I wanted S. Holden Goldfield, and I wanted One Size Fits All, and I wanted, I wanted them. I missed them. I wanted to be with them. I wanted to, this was the reason that I got successful in the first place, was so that I could win back their affection and try to relive the glory days. And what have I learned? Well, nothing yet. I still think it's possible. Come on, for the love of God, you beautiful ginger. I have been I do feel sometimes that maybe my over-reliance on gingers, my faith in their sort of abundant heart and spirit. You see how calmly Green Eggs and Fotheringham saved that ball? He's just like, I guess I'll put up my left hand. Maybe. Just as cool as the other. Oh! It's over the bar. Everything is fine. Stop freaking out, guys. You guys are so nervous. There we go. One size fits all with the standard one size fits all header. So, yes, it has not been the season that we dreamt of. But in not being the season that we dreamt of, hasn't it in some ways been the season where we learned something about ourselves and each other? I would say that we learned that we could persevere through adversity, but maybe we haven't, since I might get fired at the end of the season, and you guys have been screaming all season long at me. But we've learned something. I just don't know quite what it is yet. I'll tell you, I think that I think there's so many people want me to they want me to apologize for not running the team better this year, but I can't apologize because, I mean, maybe I'm still going to be proven right. Maybe we are going to go all the way to the Premier League on the strength of my brilliant strategy of acquiring people based on their name, hair color, and former Swoodilypooper alliances. That really should have been done better there. But I think when we look back at this season, we'll see it as one of tremendous turmoil, and maybe one where things, a certain kind of life became unsustainable for all of us. I don't, did I really walk out of bounds? I don't want that, but that is the only way that I know how to change, is when I'm forced to change. I'm not someone who chooses change. I admire those people. My brother is one of those people. But I'm just not someone who chooses change. So sometimes when you're forced to change, it sucks. And sometimes when you're forced to change, you look back and you say, oh, man, I'm so glad that I was forced into... No, I mean, whatever. I am playing with a bunch of like 52 skill level players. That wasn't that much of a surprise. One size fits all, not fast enough to get back, being 38. Then Green Eggs and Fotheringham just way out of position, doesn't even make a play on the ball, and we're down 1-0. But we're getting rested so that we can kill the playoffs, keep my job, and be heroes in Swindon again. I mean, that's the thing that you guys are forgetting, I think. Yes, it has been a difficult year. Yes, we have not lived up to expectations. I'm happy to admit it. We should have been better. We should have played better. We should be in a position right now. Look at Mr. Bean still on the ball. We should be in a position right now where, we aren't having to play our way in to the Premier League. But we still made the playoffs. Oh! We still made the playoffs, We're still in a situation where we have every opportunity to go to the Premier League. The Premier League. I mean, we're going to, if we win the playoffs, we're going to play Chelsea and Liverpool and Everton and, big-name clubs like Tottenham and possibly Cardiff City, Hull. I'm naming every team in the Premier League except for Manchester United because, they're just not that good of a club. We have those opportunities, and that is very exciting. So I know that you guys have been hard on me. Oh, Andy Rooney as a soul. I didn't get there. I didn't make it. I started too high, and I ended higher than I know how to go. Yeah. Good effort. Solid effort. 1-1 draw. Andy Rooney with his first goal, and I would conservatively say 7 months. And the Swoodilypoopers live. Now, if we could win this game, with a bunch of guys who have skill levels around 55, you've got to think that we've got a legitimate chance to make it to the Premier League next season. That was not where I wanted to pass it, needless to say. I don't know. So I think I think you guys have been a little too quick to judge. It's been a little bit of John is crazy, John is Gatsby, John has lost his mind, and not enough of, well, I mean, we are only in 5th. We are still in 5th place. We do have every opportunity to turn it around this season and still have an incredibly, I should have passed one step earlier, and still have an incredibly productive year next year in the Premier League. I mean, for all you know, we are 1 year away from returning to full Swindon glory. I mean, I know I need to make some changes. I need to get S. Holden Goldfield. He wasn't willing to play for us last time. Now that once we get to the Premier League, he will be willing to play for us because he said that we weren't a big enough club. I offered him $5 million, and he said we weren't a big enough club. Not a big enough club. We're Swindon. He won the Premier League with us. Anyway, that's off topic. I can't. It's just hard to. It's hard to not focus on it because it was a devastating blow. Or guys like Ginger Rampage who made me overpay for them because they didn't understand, how much magic they would bring to the club. Anyway, Yeah, so I think I think it's a little too soon to say that it's a failure. Let's try to come together for these last few games, and in the playoffs, let's see if we can rekindle some of that old. Wow, that's off the post pretty dramatically. Let's see if we can rekindle some of that old Swindon magic we love so much. Let's see if we can do it together, because I believe that we can. I believe that there's every opportunity for us to be the Swindon we once were, and to say, like, yes, that was a difficult season, but you know where it ended? It ended in glory with us going to the Premier League. Like, I totally think that's possible. Oh, you had to pass there, sir. Oh, that's disappointing. I had a guy wide open for the goal. Should I shoot from here? Probably not. Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean. Oh, look who's got it. It's Mr. Cox. Mr. Cox. Mr. Cox. Mr. Cox! Goal! Andy Rooney in the 90th minute. A 2-1 victory for Swindon Town. Could it be that we have together come back to a place where perhaps it is possible that we will have the energy and spirit necessary to move forward into the Premier League next season? Oh, the dream is alive, my friends. The dream is alive. Oh, that's old school Swindon football. Winning in the 90th minute. Heroically winning. I mean, that is freaking awesome, to quote Macklemore. I guess it's not really a quote. Yes! The game is over. The Swoodilypoopers go to the playoffs with momentum on their side thanks to 2 goals from the great ginger Andy Rooney. They said, "We want points, not gingers." Well, how do you like them apples? Best wishes.